Hi, friends and family. I'm just so excited to share some thoughts that is meant to increase your joy, bring even more peace and life in this Christmas season. For some of us, Christmas is a very exciting, wonderful, beautiful time filled with lots of joy and peace. For others of us, Christmas is painful. It's a time where sometimes we reflect on what we once had in the past and we no longer have, or it's a time where we're reminded what we wish we had and have never had. Sometimes it's a time of reminding, remembering or seeing or witnessing how dysfunctional family and relationships and chaotic life can be. So wherever you're at on the joy spectrum, whether your joys are high highs or it's a difficult season, I believe what I'm about to share will hopefully bless you. I always used to think of the Christmas story kind of through a legal lens. I thought God begrudgingly became a human in a manger because of a sin problem that existed from Adam all the way to Mother Mary in that barn, in that inn. And because of this sin problem, Jesus had to come down almost like a rescue mission. He was like a James Bond character sent to get us out of this filthy, despicable mess that we created. It was almost like my very existence obligatorily pressured God to send Jesus to rescue me. And so my humanity felt like it pulled something away from the Godhead. It was like me just by being, the fall of Adam all the way to me. It felt like such a drag in a way. And so, yes, there's good news at the cross. Yes, there's eternal life. Yes, it's a beautiful story. But when we view it through a legal lens, that there's an issue that God is trying to resolve, sometimes we miss how relational God is. I believe now that the incarnation is far more about the Father and the Son and the Spirit that existed before time in their sharing of perfect union. The Father looking at the Son looking at Spirit, Spirit looking at the Father. They shared perfect harmony, unbroken fellowship. And becoming a human being is really their overflow. It happens first at the Garden of Eden when they create mankind. We're created in him, in him and through him. We're created in his image and likeness. Mankind is birthed as an overflow of the joy of the Trinitarian life source. And when he comes in that swaddled little cloth in a manger, it's no different. God always planned to become one of us. God always planned to live as us. God always planned to come as Jesus to redefine us, to rescue us, sure, but more than that, to express his eternal, abundant life in human form, that he who existed in perfect harmony in spirit relationship with the Father would actually take up a human vessel, and in that human vessel demonstrate to us that even as a human, we can have unbroken and perfect fellowship with the Trinity. See, Jesus coming is far less about a rescue mission, an obligatory, pressured, overflow into human experience, and it's far more about Jesus willingly and even desiring to be human with us and as us. And, this increases our joy in our just human experience, whether we're so thrilled about the coming holiday or whether we feel totally alone, because it's in that aloneness and in that pain that God comes. He comes in human flesh. He's not some austere God way up there in the sky like Mr. Time or a fable or a story, that we made up, but he's actually relational. He's far more human than we ever thought. And in his incarnation, we see just how comfortable he is being human with those that are hurting, with those that are disenfranchised, with those that are brokenhearted. And if you're experiencing the highest highs of joy and life and ecstasies and bliss in this Christmas season, Jesus is always very familiar with those experiences too and wants to enhance them. He wants to take the best and make it better. He wants to take if you put some butter on the bread, he wants to add the jelly and the cream. He's enhancing our party. So no matter where you're at this Christmas season, just know, hey, you're not alone. you're not alone in a very real way. God is with you, not just because he needed to rescue you, but because he's wildly in love with you. And he's with you in this season. So I just want to come and remind you of those truths and maybe share a little bit more in the days to come. But Merry Christmas. Share this video with someone that you might, maybe they need to be reminded of just how human God is and how relational he is, and that we don't have to view him through a legal lens of sin and focusing on the cross, but we can actually see him in the incarnation already, just so lovingly embracing us. Yeah. So share this video, like it, comment. We'd love to interact with you guys. Tell us about your favorite Christmas pastime or thing you enjoy doing or have ever done, or if there's any new, what do they call them, like holiday traditions? Are you starting any new traditions? And I just want to share my favorite Christmas sweater from my friends. They're a bunch of mustaches, and it's a tree of mustaches. So thank you for my friends that made that. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. We'll see you soon.